What I'm going to do today is I'm going to demonstrate how to do systematic searches using PsycINFO. And what I find helpful is that sometimes we can use different terms to search a different topic. And so today I'm going to demonstrate how to do a more thorough search on a specific topic related to discrimination. So for example, if I'm a researcher and I want to capture and look at all the articles that are related to discrimination, what I can do is, of course, I'll type in the word discrimination. And I'm using asterisk, so anything that starts with discriminate, following with any other characters, will be captured in this. And of course, there's different terms that might be used in the literature and related to discrimination. So I can do a search on what other terms might come up. So prejudice, bias, intolerance, inequity. So let's add these terms. So now I've added a bunch of different terms that would fall under the major topic of discrimination. And so I'm going to do a search, but make sure to change this to or. So when I do the search, if any one of these terms come up in the article, the article will be found. If you do an and, it's only the overlap between the different terms. So anything that includes something related to discrimination, prejudice, bias, stereotype, inequity, oppression, unfairness will come up. So now I'm going to do a search and we'll see how many articles come up based off of this search. So in this search, we found over 1 million articles. So now we have a set of terms that are related to discrimination and that we can use to search articles. This can be very helpful to save, because in the future, if you want to compare racial discriminations or want to look at sexual discrimination or gender discrimination or religious discrimination, you can use the same set of terms and intersect that with another term. So I'll illustrate how to do that. So if you click on search history, within the search history, it will list the different searches that you've done today. So far I did this search related to discrimination. So I'm going to clear this. I'm going to do another search related to race. So here I'm going to do a search on race. And in this race, 391,000 articles come up. So if I want to look at racial discrimination, I select race. I also select the bunch of discrimination related terms. I'm going to look at the intersection between the two. So an article would have to include the word race and also one of the discrimination related terms. So here we can see the overlap is 73,000, that overlap between race and discrimination. So if today I'm thinking, I'm going to search, I'm more interested in gender discrimination. So I can do a search on gender and then look at my search history. Here's gender and select gender and select the discrimination. Of course, use the and again, and it will intersect between the two. So here, in terms of gender discrimination, we have 87,000. Now, if I'm a researcher that will often come back to the topic of discrimination, I would like to save the bunch of terms that I used, especially if it expands after I find out more terms that are related that I didn't include. I would like to save it. And one really helpful thing is that if you create an account in PsycINFO, what you can do is you can save the searches. So here, if I click Save Searches, it will lead me to a page under my account, and I can say these are terms related to discrimination. And so I click Save here, and then in the future, I can come back and retrieve what I had there. Okay, let's say this is another day when I'm doing some research. So what you would do is you would click search history, and it will lead you to this page, and then you can click on retrieve searches. So it will bring up the search terms or the searches that you've done in the past. So here I can bring up this discrimination, click on retrieve search term. Now these terms come back, and then for example today I'm going to look at sexual orientation, and I do a search here today on sexual orientation, and I want to look at sexual orientation and discrimination, and I have this retrieved from my other day that's saved, and then I use an and then it will look at all the overlapping articles that include 16,000 that are related to sexual orientation and discrimination. So this has been really helpful, especially if you're someone who wants to do systematic research. You want to make sure it's thorough, you want to be able to save it and use it in the future. This is a good option to use search histories to be able to save histories and also retrieve histories and look at the intersection between the different terms that you've used in the past.